What's up guys, Driver Mike here, back with another video, and in this video you're going to find out if you can make upwards of $60 an hour driving Uber or Lyft. So what should you expect as far as earnings on an average basis? Well, you've probably seen that drivers are reporting pretty low wages, $8 to $12 an hour, let's say. Now what would you feel comfortable with? If you were driving, what would be solid in your opinion? Let's say $15 to $20 an hour. That seems to be a nice sweet spot to think about. $15 to $20 an hour, let's say, on average. Okay. Now, if you follow this channel, if you watch my videos, the strategies that I talk about with driving can earn you upwards of $25+ an hour, and that is net. That is after Uber's commission or Lyft's commission. That is net. Now, let's remember taxes, okay? I did a video on taxes. By now, we should be already submitting taxes for income for last year, okay? But if you follow my videos, if you follow this advice, subscribe below, you will make upwards of $25 an hour or more with these techniques. So if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing. Maximize your earnings when you're on the road. So speaking of maximizing earnings, can we almost triple that claim? Can we triple that almost? Can we make $60 an hour driving, guys? That is insane money. I'm going to show you how it's possible. Now, I'm going to tell you, there is no secret that you aren't magically going to cram a bunch of rides in per hour to hit $60 an hour. Okay, what I talk about in this channel is maximizing your earnings through strategies, through knowing how the app works and learning demand trends. Okay, now you need that demand to make more per hour. Again, you're not gonna jam X amount of rides per hour and expect to get $30 an hour in fares. You need demand. So let's talk about demand. So we had an event here in Pittsburgh, actually two huge events in the city that brought unreal demand to the city of Pittsburgh here. This was last Saturday, guys, and one of the biggest tips that I give is always be checking, ABC, always be checking your apps and researching demand trends so you know what's going on in your city. Well, we had two huge events last Saturday. We had a Pittsburgh Penguins and Philadelphia Flyers outdoor hockey game at Heinz Field, which is the Steelers stadium here. We had a beer fest at the convention center here, which was right across the bridge from Heinz Field, which was downtown, okay? So let's think about these events. The game itself was at Heinz Field. It was an outdoor game. I forget what it was called, but it was an outdoor series that I believe is annual. It brings huge demand. Now, what if you just move to the city? What if you don't follow hockey? For instance, I don't really follow hockey, but I do research. So this was more than just a hockey game. It was a huge event. It was about 60,000 fans in Heinz Field that could seat 75,000. That is a ton of fans for the hockey game. Let's look at the second event. We had a beer fest at the convention center. I don't think I have to say too much more, but beer fest. It is a beer fest. No one's going to be driving to this. Most every attendee, you're going to think, going with friends or whatever, is going to be taking a ride share, Uber or Lyft ride there. It is a beer fest. They're going to be drinking for hours. So do the research, guys. Number one tip, look at the emails that Uber or Lyft may send you talking about high demand areas. All right, guys, you are looking right now at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, and the hockey game was at 8, I believe, 6 or 8 p.m. I can't remember, but this was before the hockey game, 4:30 p.m. And this was actually when one of the beer fest sessions was letting out as well. Now, the beer fest, they had two different sessions, one in the afternoon and one in the evening. So 4:30 coincided with the beer fest session letting out and fans getting ready to go to the North Shore for the massive hockey game. 7 minutes later. Guys, just 7 minutes later. This is Honestly insane. Look at this demand shift here. 1 minute later, a little bit later, 4:43, you can see it spreading towards more of the central cities still. Let's say you didn't do tip number 1, right? You didn't do the research on events in the area. Now, if you're doing tip number 2, which is ABC, always be checking. And this just means a spot check. It doesn't mean being obsessed with the app open, but spot checking throughout the day. Now, if you're spot checking on Saturday, it's 4:43 in the early evening, late afternoon. You know that typically people don't go out until later, but look at this. 4:43, if you're always checking your app and you're free, you can jump online right now. Closer shot, guys. 3 minutes later, this is what we're looking at. 4:44, 4.3. Different parts of the city, guys, 4.7. A little later, guys, on fire. Myself and any other driver that was out there would be ecstatic. Understandably so. This is why you gotta check ABC. Look for those demand trends. We got 4.8. A little bit later, guys, 6:03 p.m. I was out. It was date night. I wasn't checking the app as much because I wasn't driving, but I was checking for you guys. A little shot of the Lyft app because, hey, let's see what Lyft's doing. Now, in my video about Surge versus Lyft, here's why Lyft is tricky, because you'll see it's spotty. So you're not sure if you're going to ever get those prime time rates. My advice, take the guaranteed Uber Surge all the time over these Lyft prime time, because you don't know if you're going to get any prime time or when it's even going to be. Now here you can see 400%, that's a 5x on Uber, which is great, but Uber was at a 4.6, 4.7. That's not a huge difference. Take the Uber in this circumstance. A little bit later, 7:13. All right, here we go, guys. I jumped online after a wonderful date night with a girlfriend. So here is just a start, basically, a few rides in, I think this was. 9:39, a little cool down. Now here's where strategy comes into play. Look where I'm at. The I in the word Pittsburgh, basically the I, right around there is where the hockey game is, and you can see that's where it's hot. Now I say 3 to 5 minutes, don't chase surge. Don't chase it unless it is extraordinary, crazy demand like this. If you know that the day has been as you've seen, and you know that you have 60,000 people leaving that hockey game, by all means, go 15 minutes and go get that, because it's going to hit 4 again. All right, let's just take a moment to appreciate 11 a.m. This is a absolute perfect storm. And I will tell you guys, this is rare, but because you have done the research, because you've been checking your app throughout the night, even if you don't drive this late for this one time, because again, you know this is extraordinary. And you can see we had a couple hours in between screenshots here because I was nonstop busy, and I hope you would be too in your market if you hit this. 2 a.m. as I made my way back to the bar area, which is basically anywhere in that deep red. And again, it's worth it. You know, a little bit longer travel strategically is absolutely worth it. And that's it, guys. I did 8 runs in 3 hours and 12 minutes online. Here's a breakdown, guys, and again, you can see what strategic driving can do. We're talking $25 a ride, basically. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that overview. Now, I'm not trying to show off, okay? I'm trying to highlight what you can do to maximize your ratings, because honestly, I wouldn't want you to miss this. If you had anything in your area that does this kind of demand, I don't want you to miss it, and you'll miss it if you don't read any of the emails that Uber or Lyft sends you, if you don't research events in your area, And if you don't follow demand trends, if you don't know that Saturdays need a few more drivers anyway, and if you have events like this, then demand like that is going to happen. Driving strategically like this, typically half strategy, half luck, but I'm confident if you watch these videos, if you take this advice, you can make it 70% strategy, 30% luck, and really make sure you absolutely maximize your earnings. Driver Mike here. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We have awesome videos, even great stories, passengers, drivers. If you're thinking about driving, how to maximize your earnings and ratings. If you're new, if you're a seasoned driver, you should probably subscribe. Check it out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.